am I speaking to right now?
Cameron.
My name
Cameron.
is
Cam Buford.
Hey, it's Peter Rosenberg. I'm hanging on my man Cameron Buford.
We got some good questions today.
I'm a Dolphin fan.
There's always room for improvement.
I'm more a fan of boxing. Boxing is my main sport.
All we want to see every year are the best two mothers getting in the ring and getting them.
I got some of this for you.
Goodness. For me?
Yeah, just for you.
Think about it like this: the promoter pays the fighter, the fighter pays the manager.
Okay.
So the manager works for the fighter, and the fighter works
Work for the promoter. Okay.
So you are lifting weights currently?
When he said it's easier to score in the NBA versus Europe, did you agree with them?
To me, it's easy to score all over the world.
Can I finish right now?
Do you want me to speak or do you want to conduct the interview and answer for me? Which one?
What do you think about these type of
Aaron, like I was saying before.
Aaron, what has the game of baseball taught you?
One of the biggest things is being humble.
Can you give a message to the kids to kind of persevere through the false teachings they may be giving?
Patience.
Okay.
Patience.
As the show Voice of the Fans
Oh my goodness!
continues to
I'm in
evolve,
tears.
Come on, you were adding some spice to it.
it is strictly banter back and forth between myself and Cameron Buford.
I enjoy all of it.
The real ones know what's going on, right?
Never mind.
Go watch the tape. Go watch the tape, and then you tell me if it was all about just a system.
You look like a buffoon.
Go do your research. Go do your study.
I'm not caught up to you guys yet. I do
Real, real surprised at that, Cam.
Hey, come here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, this guy.
That's what's good in sports, man. It's the big Snoop Dogg, man.
That's what's good in sport.
Thank you for making our voice your choice.
If you haven't told your girlfriend about the show, tell her about the show. If you haven't told your boyfriend about the show, tell him about the show. If you haven't told your cousin, your uncle, your grandfather about the show, let everybody know about the Voice of the Fans podcast.
Hey man, thanks for making our voice your choice. You know how we do.
What's good, team? Thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. Wednesday, January 28th. Man, the month is already gone. I don't know if you guys are holding up to your what's up, Barry? Thanks for tuning in, big dog. I don't know if you guys holding up to your New Year's resolutions, but yeah, it's already been a month. So congratulations to those of you who have, if you're doing it, and congratulations to those of you guys for starting a new one, because you only got a couple days to finish this one out, and you can start a new one here in February. Man, we got a lot to talk about. Off the field, the Super Bowl matchup is set, but off the field, the NFL is already reshaping for 2026. Coaches getting fired, coaches getting hired, front office shakeups, causing draft moments. Contract drama is crazy. We got a lot going on, and even before the confetti even falls. Before the confetti even falls down there in Santa Clara, we got a lot going on. What's up, Mr. Cleveland?
What's going down, Big Cam?
Long time no talk to. Always welcome to have you. Always glad to have you on the show. It's a lot to talk about this weekend, and I know. Let's see if you can be unbiased. I know you got a lot to talk about with your Sam Darnold. I want to know, how confident are you in Sam Darnold now going into Santa Clara for Super Bowl 60?
Incredibly confident.
Oh, here we go. I wonder what that answer would have been 2 weeks ago at the same time. But over the past 2 weeks, what's made you incredibly confident, as he says?
Well, he just outdueled the NFL MVP in, the biggest game of the year, the NFC Championship game. The game before, no turnovers. I believe his last 3 games, no turnovers. So he certainly understands the value of the football and what this team, needs to win.
So it's only taking 3 games for you Seahawks fans to get on board, or
Oh, no, Cam been on board since the beginning, since day one. Like, Sam was the guy. Yeah.
Oh, so from week one, you was on board.
Oh man, from the minute that he came from Minnesota, man, we welcomed him with open arms. We knew we knew that the type of character that he had, the leadership skills.
See, I was hoping
I would hope the entire organization. Yeah,
I was hoping upon your return to the show, I would get some objectivity out of you, and not a bunch of bluster. And now that we've known the results of the season, you could be true and say that, yeah, you were nervous up until a week ago. And then, as you said, he outdueled the league's MVP. That could give one confidence. I understand why that would give one confidence. But come on, man, you can't tell me and the fans listening to the show that you were 100% and entirely confident when they decided to go for Sam Darnold once Geno Smith decided he wanted to go to Las Vegas.
100%, Cam. Never wavered, not one time.
Oh my goodness gracious! All right, fans. I mean, fans. I don't know where to go now. I see we're not going to get the objectivity that we were actually hoping for. Let's see if you can be objective in this regards. Did the Patriots? Did the Denver Broncos lose that game, or did the Patriots win that game?
Denver Broncos lost that game.
Your guy, Sean McVay. Hold. Let me back up. There was a controversial fourth down call early in the second quarter that if the Broncos were inside the 15, I think they're on the 13-yard line to be specific, 4th and 1. If they get it, if they scored a touchdown, they go up 14 points, 14-0. If they kick the field goal, they're up 10-0, but they still have a two-score lead. I'm totally in that situation. I'm totally okay with them going for the first down, considering he's trying to end the game. He's not trying to, play the field goal back and forth match. He's trying to end the game right now because up until that point, Drake May and the New England Patriots haven't been moving the ball very well. So if he goes up 14-0, that almost puts a nail in the coffin. I don't think the play call was very good, but on that third down, Stidham rolled out and they called him short of their first down. I thought there should have been, with the eye in the sky, the replay, it should have been replay assist because they showed the play twice. Well, when it happened, they showed the play only one time in replay. But when it happened in live time, I thought Stidham put his hand down out of bounds. That's why he was a yard short. But when they replayed it, when he put his hand on the ground, he was inbounds, and then that kind of propelled him to over the first down marker. I don't know why that play wasn't recalled, why we didn't have replay assists. That was a pivotal moment in the game, albeit it wasn't 9 minutes to go in the second quarter. It still was a big moment in the game. Do you remember the play that I'm talking about? Did you have that same question? And I would suspect you saying he should have kicked the field goal.
So a couple of things. Sean Payton is not my guy. That's your guy. I've never liked that dude. He's an arrogant asshole. So not my guy. That
is true. That was evidenced by the fourth down call. Yeah.
Yeah. And you may or may not remember this. You and I watched an NFC Championship game a few years ago where a coach named Dan Campbell did the same thing over and over and over again, going for it on fourth down, not taking the points, and then you do that 3 times and go 0 for 3, and then you lose by 6 points. Whose fault is that? You're contradicting yourself when you say, I would have went for it for the death blow in the first quarter. It's like, okay.
It was second quarter. It was second quarter.
If you get any points, isn't that kind of the same thing? You're making it a 2-score game. And so if you don't, it's no longer a 2-score game. It's a touchdown and then a field goal. and you're losing, and then you still have Jarrett Stidham as your quarterback, and then you get hit with a blizzard.
But that's kind of why Jarrett Stidham being the quarterback is kind of why you go for it on fourth down.
No, that's exactly that's why you take the points.
I understand when you say that's the conservative route, take the points. I can't argue that. Obviously, you made a point against the Dan Campbell Detroit Lions. That was 3 or 4 times he decided to go for fourth down. I'm talking about this one specific incident early in the game. It was early in the game. I didn't anticipate only 7-10 points to be scored in the rest of that ball game. Obviously, and none of them by Denver. I didn't anticipate that. But I think with having Stidham having a backup quarterback in the game, you're so close. You're 13 yards away from putting foot in this game right here, taking stranglehold of this game. I didn't like the play call. The play call was weird. But I think I was totally okay with him going for it. I'm not going to bash him for going for it. But I can understand those who do and who have. The New England Patriots. Let me back up to Sam Darnold. Is Sam Darnold an outlier? Is this what the Seahawks done? Is this replicatable? Is this replicable? This is not. So this is a shot in the dark. They caught lightning in a bottle here by getting Sam Darnold.
It's a confluence of events. I don't think that anybody expected their running game to be that dramatically better than it was last year. I don't think anyone expected their offensive line to progress the way it did. And I certainly don't think that anyone expected their defense to be the best at, top 2 in the league, by anyone's estimation. Some people might argue Houston. I'm not mad at that, but it's 1 or 2 in the league. So I don't think anybody was expecting that. I know that no one was expecting JSN to be the offensive player of the year, given what we saw last year and given how conservative the offense play calling was supposed to be. So yeah, it's a lot of different things that have kind of come together all at once. And yeah, it's in my estimation way ahead of schedule. I mean, I was expecting 9-8 at best this year. I would have considered that a success. So, Super Bowl is far beyond my,
look at this. He finally, it took him a few minutes. It took him 10 minutes to show some objectivity. I appreciate that, Cleveland. Let me give you a round of applause. It took him 10 minutes to come in here and show some actual objectivity. From watching, you and I was in training camp. We saw JSN getting open, didn't we? We saw Horton getting open against that secondary. Running free. Wasn't that the takeaway from the day we were at the training camp?
Yeah, that we saw a lot of work to do, and the Horton that you're mentioning, hasn't played in 14 weeks, so even a factor.
Yes, I remember I was there, and I saw that defensive line without Williams and without Dexter Lawrence, giving the offensive line problems. The offensive line could not move the ball against that defensive line, again, without the 2 studs. So that told me immediately they were going to add those 2 Pro Bowl caliber players, that they were going to be ferocious. And that iron sharpens iron, right? So that struggle against the defensive line made the offensive line better. Reaping the rewards throughout the regular season. Now we're 20 weeks later. This offensive line has obviously grown. Charbonnet, I thought Charbonnet going out was going to be a bigger factor in this game against the Rams, and I think it's been an inspiration to your guy Walker to kind of turn it up and now show what he's capable of. If he has he gets all the plays. If he gets the whole meal, he shows what he's capable of. So I think that was impressive. But you do not think Sam Darnold, you do not think other teams, i.e. Miami, i.e., Pittsburgh, can get a quarterback, and I don't want to say off the scrap heap. Well, yeah, he was essentially off the scrap heap. Though Sam Darnold had a 14-win season, there was not a lot of takers for Sam Darnold. Would you agree?
I don't know what the market was for him, Cam. We know that he was a quarterback that won 14 games. I believe they had one of the top 5 offenses in the league. So, I don't know.
I try to frame it in a sense. I try to frame it in a sense to force them to be objective.
The aforementioned teams that you're referring to are thinking the same thing to themselves. Like, man, we could have had Sam Darnold, but instead we have so-and-so. Instead we have Justin Fields. Now, of course, obviously can't go back to New York after you've been there once, right? So, okay, I kind of get that one. But, man, the Raiders could have been like, man, we could have had Sam Darnold,
This guy, all of a sudden.
We have those folks that be like, man, we could have had Sam Darnold.
All of a sudden, this Sam Darnold is a jewel of the offseason. And you saw this coming. You foresaw this.
Right? He's in the Super Bowl, right?
My goodness gracious.
He's playing the Super Bowl, right?
So the question was, is this replicable that they can find a quarterback off the scrap heap and turn them around and get the resurgence? So you mentioned the defense. I mean, you have to have a pretty good defense to do that. The defense, as you mentioned, is arguably the best, or if not is second best, and nobody can take the second best away from them. The running game has been good. Are you going to credit the coach in his second year for taking? In 2 years, he took the Baltimore Ravens defense from, I think Ravens defense were 19th or 20th to the number 2 in the league. In 2 years now, he's taken the Seattle Seahawks, went from 28th to 2nd in the league. Are you going to give the coach any credit in this?
I'm pretty sure they weren't 28th in the league last year. And to answer your question,
when he took over, not last year, when he took over.
To answer your original question, no, I don't think it's replicatable. Because I just don't think that you can have all of those confluence of events that just happened here to take the Seahawks to the Super Bowl. And so, yeah, obviously coaching makes a difference. And as we've gone, back and forth, as you like to go round, coaching makes more difference in the NFL than the other sports, for sure. And, yeah, he's done some marvelous things here.
Where did this team rank? Fair question, straight up question. Where did this team rank? The defense rank? Is this defense as good as or better than the Legion of Boom?
Just a hair below.
If they have a dominating win, the last time, if they have a dominating win as they did when they first won the Super Bowl, would that change your mind? No. No, really interesting. Okay, interesting. Let's get into these NFL off. I mean, I hate to just for the fans. I'm gonna ask this question. The fans want to see how objective you can be, Mr. Cleveland. What's your pick for the Super Bowl?
The Seahawks.
You want to give us a score?
28-15.
28-15. That's a weird number. Okay, the fans are gonna hold you to that. Bill Belichick not making the first ballot Hall of Fame. How preposterous is this? How preposterous do you think this is?
I mean, it's right up there with Terrell Owens not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's right up there with Michael Irvin not being a first ballot Hall of Famer. It's right up there with a lot of people that haven't been first ballot Hall of Famers. I think that Bill thought that his Super Bowl rings would be enough to kind of carry him through, and it probably should have been, considering that he has coached in 11 Super Bowls. either as a head coach or a defensive coordinator, and he's won 8 of them. So, yeah, I mean, how many of these things do you got to have on your finger before you
right? Who has more than him telling them no, he's not welcome?
Your coaches in there have more than me. None of your coaches in there have coached more than me. So, yeah, from that perspective, yeah, he most definitely just on merit deserved to be in. But then you have to realize that he's ruffled the feathers of some billionaires. He was not very gracious on his way out. And for the last 10 to 12 years, he has not been very kind to the media. So what is your punishment for all of that? You have to wait a year. You don't get the unblemished, just, carte blanche into the Hall of Fame. You have to sit back and think about kind of,
Oh, you got to think about it. Who was telling him? Who was telling Bill Belichick that he needs to think about how he treated the NFL world, and he needs to wait a year because he's not. He's the greatest coach in NFL football is not deserving of the Hall of Fame just yet. Who is making this call? And they should be fired. They should be fired.
From what I hear, the ringleaders were Robert Kraft and Bill Polian. Robert Kraft being
who would Kraft be? Who would Kraft be without Belichick? Who would Kraft be without Bill Belichick?
Okay, well, obviously Robert Kraft thinks that he deserves a little bit more credit for what's going on. You've heard this story before, right?
Well, I'm just saying.
An owner thinking they deserve a little bit more credit for the results on the field, right? You've heard this story before, right?
Well, okay. We have, yes, and I'm saying, who's Robert Kraft?
So it's not uncommon. So Robert Kraft being a billionaire and having a lot of influence in that room, and Bill Polian being the general manager of the team that was kind of on the receiving end of a lot of those losses due to
smackdowns.
Due to the cheating allegations, they got together and they said, yeah, not the first time. He doesn't just get to skate in squeaky clean. He's gonna have to sit at least one round.
So Robert Kraft is gonna have to suffer the same penalties, wouldn't you think? Him being the owner of the team?
Don't know.
Tom Brady would have to suffer some of the same penalties, wouldn't you think? Are you pinning this all on Bill? What do you mean? No. How are you pinning this all on Bill?
Because he doesn't have the same forces against him.
What? Oh,
Him and Robert Kraft have a great relationship. Him and Bill Polian have a great relationship. Tom Brady's always had a great relationship with the media.
So they're the gatekeepers of Polian and Kraft, or is what you're saying?
They're not going to use their sphere of influence and their billions of dollars to sway voters. Let's put it like that.
This is wild. This is wild. The greatest coach of all time, is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, and Cleveland is trying to come up with some legitimate reasons why this should be the case.
I didn't say they were legitimate. I said on merit he deserves to be in on the first ballot, but there are other factors and forces that are going on that are out of his control, and now he sees the ramifications of how he's been over his tenure as a coach.
I got your back, Bill. I got your back 100%. Fight for Bill. Free Bill.
Hey, you're one of the few people that can get Bill to smile and actually, say something besides, 2-word answer. So you and Bill have always had a great relationship.
Yeah, nobody called me for my reference, so I got your back, Bill. Maybe I'm gonna have to send a strongly lettered email to the Hall of Fame committee and Bill Polian specifically. This guy, he says, I'm 95% sure I voted for Bill. So that 5% is the reason your vote should be taken away from you. If you can't recall who you voted for, that sounds like it might be a little bit too much for you, Mr. Polian. What do you think about that, Cleveland?
Bill Polian's in the Hall of Fame. I believe he's 4-time Executive of the Year. So, yeah.
But you already said he got – no, I'm not questioning his accolades. And, really all he did was draft Peyton Manning, who he didn't even have – he fell in his lap. Peyton Manning fell in his lap. We'll put it like that. That earned him Executive of the Year. Nonetheless, if he can't remember who he voted for, shouldn't that be a removal of reasons, grounds to remove him from the Hall of Fame voting?
Well, Cam, I think that was just a very clever way of saying none of your business. That's how I took that to mean.
Oh, that's how you took it. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
not that he didn't really actually remember whether he checked, box A or B. I think he remembers that. He just, it's none of your business.
Well, what you try to tell me was none of my business for years was Mike Tomlin in his mediocre way that he ended his career with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers have replaced Mike Tomlin with Mike McCarthy. Does Mike McCarthy win a Super Bowl in his 5 years under a 5-year deal with the Steelers?
I think that would depend on who the quarterback is, Cam. I don't really see McCarthy being kind of like a Steeler way kind of guy. I think it was just kind of like the best available candidate that they could find. Obviously they like their coaches to be there for 20 plus years. He's obviously not going to have that type of tenure. So I think it was just a matter of, we've looked around, we've talked to some people, we talked to the young bucks. We weren't overly impressed. We kind of need to do something for our fans right now. As kind of a stopgap between a coach that has never had a losing season and even, in his darkest hour, still managed to get out 10 wins and win the division. So, that's going to be a hard shoes to follow. So,
but that same coach, they're left without a quarterback, and for whatever reason, could not.
Aaron Rodgers is still there, as I recall. I believe Aaron Rodgers still has not decided whether he's going to play next year or not.
Well, yeah,
Mike McCarthy, Aaron Rodgers in the past, some of his best seasons actually.
But you didn't let me finish. That same quarterback who was there, Tomlin, didn't draft, develop, or acquire a quarterback until
Tomlin doesn't do the drafting. The general manager does the drafting. Tomlin just coaches the players that the general manager gives him.
Okay, and he's supposed to develop the players, correct? He's supposed to develop.
To the best of his ability. I think he got the most out of what he had. But then again, I'm a Tomlin guy. You're not really. So, you probably have more of a, he should have turned, Mason Rudolph into a Drake May type thing.
Well, no, he had who was his other quarterback that he had from Pittsburgh? From Penn? From Penn, who was the other guy? Mason Rudolph. There was another guy that they drafted right around.
Kenny Pickett from Pittsburgh.
Kenny Pickett. Okay, do what you can, but neither one of those guys lasted a season. I'm sure he had some say in who they should draft. Not that the draft was on him. I'm sure he had some say.
He's not. Yeah, he's not the one to blame for drafting those two quarterbacks. No.
But can I blame him for not developing those two quarterbacks?
Well, of course you can, Cam. You can blame the coach for whatever reason. Whether they win or lose, it's always the coach, right?
Okay. Does he coach? Does Tomlin coach this season, or he's out?
I've been texting him back and forth a little bit. He says he's definitely out this year. His future plans, he's not really sure right now.
Oh, okay. Nice to know that you've been in communication with him. That's good to know. As you mentioned, I agree with you. I don't see McCarthy being there. What was Tomlin there? 17 years, 18 years? He's not going to be there that long. I think this is they're bringing him in, and the odd thing about it is, has McCarthy drafted a quarterback? Has he groomed a quarterback? Has he developed a quarterback, or did he just get the prime Aaron Rodgers in the prime of his career?
He got a little bit of Favre and a lot of Aaron Rodgers, and then Dak had a pretty good spot in his career as well. So yeah,
well, that's my point. Did he draft Aaron Rodgers, or was he there?
Coaches don't draft people. They coach the players that are there. And so, yes, Brett Favre
I think they're drafting.
There,
I think they're drafting Mike McCarthy. Or they're hiring Mike McCarthy to draft a quarterback, identify a quarterback, whether he drafts him or not, and develop this guy. I think that's why they're hiring him. For that respect, I can understand why they're hiring him. But it goes against what the Pittsburgh Steelers have been known for is their defense. It goes against with the Pittsburgh Steelers, although McCarthy is from Pittsburgh. I don't see him as a Pittsburgh dude, me personally. So I think it goes against him. And I just wonder for that. I don't think he's there for the long term anyhow. And I just wonder how short term that this is going to be. That's my question by them hiring him. I don't think it's a good fit for the Steelers. Do you?
I think it's a a short-term fix. I think it's probably the best they could have done given the choices that they had.
Todd Monken signs with the Browns to be the Browns head coach. Should we expect anything from Cleveland?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know about that hire. As we spoke about, you were there last week when I made the bet with Chris. I think the Ravens hiring Mentor he was the defensive coordinator from the Chargers. I think that they're going to continue. When I say I don't think the Pittsburgh's hire was a good hire for long term, I don't think McCarthy is a symbol for Pittsburgh. I think Mentor is going to keep allow the Ravens to be the Baltimore Ravens, the same Ravens they've been over years. Would you agree with that or disagree?
It's hard to say. He's a little bit younger, doesn't really have much of a track record. I know he did a lot with the Chargers defense with, players kind of coming in and out with injuries. Remains to be seen. Honestly, I think he's a little bit over his skis given the level of expectation that organization has, which is, basically Super Bowl or bust. So,
well, I don't know. They're going to bust. I don't think they're going to go into the Super Bowl next.
That's not what I said. I said their level of expectation is that. Just like their level of expectation going into this year was Super Bowl, and I think their level of expectation every year, especially once they have to pay Lamar Jackson $60+ million a year. Yeah, they're expecting a Super Bowl. So we'll see how he handles that pressure.
Yeah, I don't know about that. That's a lot of pressure. I don't expect them to turn around. I think they'll keep that same Baltimore theme. I don't know that they're going to be Super Bowl contenders next year. The Bills fire McDermott and hire Brady, the former offensive coordinator. You like that move?
No, not really. But again, I think that their options were starting to dwindle and they needed to do something sooner than later. And, might as well go with familiarity and somebody they trust, at least on the offensive side of the ball. And hopefully he can, put together a squad that can, get them over the hump.
McDermott was 98-50 for the Bills. I think that was they lost. They shouldn't have lost to they got beat by a better team on that day. They shouldn't have lost.
Denver Broncos with Bo Nix. No, that's a hard one to come to me through the
It is.
With.
I didn't. You didn't allow me to finish. I agree with you. That's a hard one to swallow. And I want to say they got beat by a better team. It was a better team on that particular day. I expected the Bills to be in the Super Bowl. I understand the frustration, but I just don't think. I think that was a kind of an impulsive move. And they don't have anybody. I don't know that Brady is going to turn the corner. You got Brady getting them over the hump.
Well, I don't know, but I know that if they had come to the conclusion that Sean McDermott certainly wasn't going to get them over the hump, he couldn't even beat the Denver Broncos with Bo Nix at quarterback. There was no. You can't say, "Oh, we lost to Barr. Oh, we lost to Mahomes. Oh, we lost to Burr." Even we lost to Trevor. No, we lost to Bo Nix.
So there's a stat out there that a coach and quarterback combination have not won a Super Bowl past their 7-year partnership. And I think they were on 8 years. That's another reason that he got fired too. Do you think you cannot win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen? Is Josh Is Josh Allen?
Of course, he can win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen. He's a Super Bowl caliber quarterback.
Oh, you agree? Okay? You think so?
Problem.
Okay. You think so? So you putting it on the coach? Okay. Arizona Cardinals, they reset again. They fired Jonathan Gannon. I mean, is that an interesting job? Do you think the Arizona Cardinals? I think the Arizona Cardinals and the Raiders are the ones without a coach right now.
I mean, I think interesting is a way to put it. I mean, obviously, there's a reason that no one has run and jumped at that job. They have no idea who their quarterback is going to be, and the organization is poorly run. So, I don't know. I mean, obviously, being a head coach is a lot more money. It's a lot more responsibility. It's great experience. It's good to put on your resume. It's certainly, if you want to be in this game for a long time. But, wow, I mean, it's a lot of uncertainty over there from what I can see.
Sure, I agree with you on that. Can John Harbaugh win a Super Bowl in his 5 years that he signed with the Giants?
No.
No,
not as their roster is currently constructed.
I mean, well, again, he has 5 years. I mean, whether it takes 5 years to rebuild or however long, you don't see them turning that franchise around, Harbaugh?
I don't think that the New York Giants during his tenure will be one of the top 5 teams in the NFC. So, no.
Wow. Yeah, I don't know that they're going to be ecstatic with Harbaugh. But I mean, he was better. He's better than what they've had. So, I guess that's where they're accepting. You got some time to run through the NBA? Some hot topics in the NBA?
Let's do the NBA right quick.
The topic on the news this week is Giannis made it official. He wants out. Did he? I mean, I don't know. You got ties to Jeannie and LeBron and the GM over there. Did he make a phone call? Did you guys try to test the waters? Did Rich Paul call you about Giannis? What's the word with Giannis and the Lakers?
We don't have any space or salary cap for him. So yeah, that's not one of the fishes that the Lakers can go after.
Well, Rich Paul had no problem trading away the grandson of Jarrell. Maybe he was sending the grandson of Jarrell to Milwaukee for something.
Well, everyone knows it's going to take a little bit more than that, and then you would have Luka and 2 aging superstars, and you probably just need one of those. So, not a good fit.
Are you guys going to stand pat? I mean, we got the trade deadline coming up next.
Not going to stand pat. There are some moves in the works behind the scenes. I can't share or divulge all of them right now.
Well, just share one of them with us. I mean, what you got cooking? Just share one of them.
Confidentiality agreement that I signed. So,
Rob Pelinka got you signing a UDA. Okay, I mean, gee whiz. Well, I had you on the show. I was hoping you'd drop a gem for my fans.
Okay, I'm sorry, I can't. Sorry, I can't do that right now.
But I mean, all right. Let me try it this way. Can you give me a hint? What jersey number does this guy wear that you guys are kind of targeting?
All I can tell you is that it will be an improvement on defense, length on the wings.
I mean, any shoot? Does this guy have a jumper that you guys are targeting?
Sometimes, not necessarily a Klay Thompson type jumper, but
okay.
It's serviceable.
Okay, just interested. Are you guys in the market for a point guard? There's a point guard in Memphis who's looking for a home. Are you in the market for a ball handler? I know you got Luka. Sometimes Luka needs a break. You need to take the ball out of Luka's hand. We know that other old guy can't handle the ball much.
Yeah, no, thank you. No, thank you. If you're referring to that guy in Memphis with the mental health issues and wants to swing guns around and whatnot.
I didn't say nothing about the mental health issues. I'm talking about the former face of the league candidate.
That's never been the face of the league. Has not really even been a candidate. Had some really flashy slam dunks for his size over the years, which is great. But never, in any shape, form, or fashion capable of carrying that type of mantra.
So, considering the previous issues that you referenced, what would be a good, as it looks like it's going to be a change of scenery for my man, would the Timberwolves, the Heat, or the Rockets be the best fit for this guy? Or should he stay in Memphis?
I think the Rockets would be from those three teams that you mentioned would be the best fit. Just because, KD is probably a little bit more of an unselfish superstar. I feel like him and Anticlaus would kind of butt heads, and I don't think he's disciplined enough for Heat culture. So I think just from default, I would have to go with Houston with that one.
Does Ime Udoka, could he get him straight, or
no?
Would that be a good fit for him, or because there's a lot that
goes
down.
It would be far too much discipline and accountability for him. He needs to go someplace where they don't really expect a lot, other than him to be kind of like a highlight reel. And Houston's trying to win a championship, so that's why I didn't think any of the three teams that you mentioned were very good fits.
Well, what do you have in mind? I mean, Washington. It sounds like you want them to go to Washington Wizards. They
already got Ice Trey. They already got a little shooting guard that's not very healthy and kind of fragile, so they don't need two of those. I would say someplace like either Chicago. I was just thinking that a little bit earlier. No. Chicago could use a little, injection of, energy and that kind of enthusiasm. I hear that Portland is kind of like on the fringe, like they're almost good, but not quite good. Maybe he pushes them over the edge.
They got Scoot. Would you send Scoot to Memphis for Ja? Would Memphis do that? Scoot for Ja?
Memphis, yeah, I don't know. I know Portland would have no problem with Scoot. Title and maybe another expiring contract. Maybe if Dame Dollar takes him under his wing, maybe he straightens out a little bit.
Oh, you got confidence that Dame can coach him up? Maybe. I mean, there's probably a little less things going on in Portland than Memphis. But if I'm Memphis and Portland calls me, I'm asking for Denny Avdia. That's who I want.
Well, yeah, that's a non-starter. Yeah, no.
I mean, for Ja, you get one all-star for another. How about that?
That's a non-starter. Yeah, no.
I was looking on the internet last night, and I just couldn't see any news of the Jenny Buss biopic. I couldn't find the release date. I couldn't find, has it been filmed yet? Has the filming started? Have they even identified characters yet? I couldn't identify it with all this talk that, Braun might be going elsewhere. What's your thoughts on that? Can you fill me in?
Yeah, biopic is still in the works. Jeannie's been dealing with some other things like, still kind of working out the last second details of that $10 billion transaction that's taken place. So, still a few, I's to dot and T's to cross, and a few other things have come up. Some sibling rivalry. They've tried to throw some dirt on on Jeannie's name a little bit. And
you saw the article. You heard the phone call.
Yeah. So a little bit of fallout from that, and everybody kind of chiming in, yes, LeBron did save the franchise, and you should be grateful for all of that, and I saw Draymond sticking up for drafting Bronny. He was a top recruit at a major university.
Draymond gets less and less listenable every week. Every week I can listen to him.
Okay, I don't know. I have to draft him, but okay. Anyways, and then you see Bryce. He couldn't hack. His lack of playing time playing for the number one team in the country. That's weird. I don't know. I guess he was expecting 15, 20 minutes a game on the number one team in the country. I don't know.
So let me get this straight. I asked you about Jeannie Buss in the biopic, and you go all the way down to how the Lakers are treating Bronny and Bryce in Arizona.
Follow the tangent.
I was trying to follow. I was trying to. You lost me. You shook me.
Okay. Well, I will go back over it. I said Jeannie is dealing with some other things. I said you might have forgotten she's still kind of dotting the I's and crossing the T's on a $10 billion transaction.
We all know about that. She's been boasting about that for the last 6 weeks now.
And then she's dealing with some sibling rivalry.
Oh, I know all about that, bro.
That hurts. That has brought up some things and kind of mischaracterized how the relationship has been.
Oh, I know all about that, and I don't have $10 million involved. Yeah, and I know I can tell you about that.
That she thought that she should have been more, or LeBron should have been more grateful about them drafting Bronny, and that he got too much credit for resurrecting the franchise. Then I said, guys like, so follow me. So then I said, guys like Draymond Green even chimed in and said, well, why wouldn't you draft Bronny? He was a top recruit at a major university. To which I said, yeah, that doesn't mean I have to draft your son. So that doesn't make any sense. And then I said, lastly, my last point was, and then you can see that doesn't mean anything because his other son was a top recruit, but he's already ready to leave because he plays for the number one team in the country and isn't getting any playing time. So that's where the tangent went.
Yeah, I mean, that's an NIL conversation. I mean, we could talk about that too. I don't like the. It's
not an NIL conversation. That's a
transfer. No, the transfer portal, NIL. I think it's kind of all wrapped up in one.
We're talking about LeBron James' son. NIL is not.
Money's not an issue. Well, fair point. That's fair point. That's fair point. So he's looking for playing time. So he wants to enter the portal to go to Utah State and think he can get more playing time over there, or
I don't know where he thinks he's going to go.
I mean, do you want to win, or do you just want to get 15 a night? I mean, somebody tries to get 27 a night, but they don't win. He goes home happy.
Well, I mean, that's the request for leaving the number one team in the country. That's the question that brings up, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. But you said a few different things there. Do you think, as a Laker fan, as a longtime Laker fan, before Bronny, do you think the Lakers organization should pay some homage to LeBron James for winning in that championship, that Mickey Mouse ring in 2020?
For sure. It's not Mickey Mouse. The diamonds are not zirconia. They're real, just like all the rest of the diamonds. Yeah.
Okay. But you think he should get more reference and respect from Jeannie for that?
Well, I think he also needs to kind of understand where he's at. He's not the first person to come here and do great things. It is the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, granted, they were kind of on a little bit of a downturn, but they did manage to win 16 championships without him. So
they hadn't won in 6 years. They hadn't won in 6 years though. So I don't know. I'm like, I don't know.
Okay, right. Okay, thank you for bringing that up, Cam. They hadn't won a championship in 6 years. How long has it been for the LA Clippers to win a championship? When was their last championship?
We're talking about those guys who play at.
I can imagine fans. They won a championship every 6 years. They'd be euphoric.
I don't know how we got here, but okay. Do you want to talk about the Clippers? The hottest team in the NBA right now? Do you want to talk about those guys?
Not really.
Do you want to talk about Kawhi Leonard, who's blazing up who's going to be in the NBA All-Star game this weekend or next weekend? Do you want to talk about them guys? Do you want to talk about Ty Lue, who has these guys on a 15-3 pace right now? Do you want to talk about those guys?
Not really.
Oh, okay. Since if you just want to throw shots at somebody, you want to throw shots at a winning team. Okay, a team that got things on the upward transition.
Not a winning team. You don't have a winning record. That is the epitome of a Clipper fan. Trying to throw shots at me And they don't even have a winning record.
They're 2 games away from 500. Okay, two games, and I think the Lakers are 2 games above 500. Okay, so that mark isn't that far apart,
right?
As much as you want to make it.
That is such a Clifford thing to say. We're 2 games away from being average.
Fans, I don't know. I didn't bring him on for this. For sure. And this is what. When your record is what it is, again, 22-24. What are your Lakers? What's your Lakers record?
It's 28-17.
18 because they got an L slapped on them tonight. Is this Bron's last season in all seriousness, or do you think he plays next year? He plays next year. Will he announce it at the beginning of the season that this is his final year? Huh? He won't announce it at the beginning. You don't think he does?
I don't think at the beginning. I think it will be more like he'll see how his body feels, and if it's not feeling great, he'll December. He'll let you know,
so he can get that last round of visits from every arena and get gifts. And you think he wants all that?
For sure.
Since we haven't talked much of this season, what team has impressed you most this season, this NBA season?
Would have to say the Phoenix Suns are at the top of the list. They're doing a lot with not very much. Has Gerald Green even played this season yet? I mean, they're far exceeding expectations. So I would have to put them at the top of the list.
Phoenix Suns, I think I projected Houston to win the division, the Western Conference this year. And San Antonio, I expected San Antonio to be much better. I didn't expect them to be 31-15 better. So Phoenix is sitting at 6th seed. I get you there. Expected a little bit more from Houston. And San Antonio, I just didn't expect these young guys with Wemby. I didn't expect 31-15 out of them in the first half of the season. So we got a question from the gallery here for Laker fans. Because you mentioned 16 earlier.
Because it's the same franchise. It's the same organization. They just moved from Minneapolis to Los Angeles.
How many do they have in Minnesota?
I think 2.
You think 2? I have to do some research on that. So which rookie has impressed you the most this season?
I think it's still Cooper Flag. I've been hearing a lot of Kneppel stuff. I've been hearing some Derek Queen stuff.
Con Kneppel is solid. Derek Queen he's been good. He had some big games. I don't think rookie of the year. Cooper Flag he's a hands down rookie of the year.
I wouldn't say hands down. I think that's kind of where the conversation starts. I still put him at top. I've heard Kneppel, kind of creeping up on him. Edgecombe's doing some big things over there as well with Philly, but I think that those other 2 are just a little bit above him.
So if the NBA versus the world doesn't do it for the NBA All-Star game, what would fix the All-Star game, if anything?
There's no fixing the All-Star game. It will soon be very much like the Pro Bowl in football.
Well, I mean, we didn't get. I just skipped over and didn't even discuss the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl should be just disbanded. I mean, Shedeur Sanders get named to the Pro Bowl. I mean, come on, dog. What are we doing? Like, get rid of the whole weekend. Announce who made the Pro Bowls, or just announce who's all pro and forget the Pro Bowlers. What's your thoughts on that? Because I think it's become a farce.
Well, maybe they asked some other quarterbacks and they went down the list and everybody was like, no thanks, no thanks. And they got Shedeur and he was like, well, sure, I'll go.
But I mean, yeah, there's not a lot. Well, I guess there are a few players that will say no, but if this is our Pro Bowl player, if this is we throwing up as a Pro Bowler, I don't think we should have the Pro Bowl. If we're throwing up Shedeur Sanders as our Pro Bowl quarterback, I don't think we should have the Pro Bowl anymore. And the NBA, if the NBA, the most highly competitive game is the Rising Stars game. The rookies versus the freshmen, if you will. Like, those guys are playing hard because they don't know no better. If it means just playing the young guys in the All-Star game, play the young guys.
Because they're not All-Stars. That's why they have their own separate game.
Well, yeah, they're not All-Stars, and they want to get the young guys some pub. So, I mean, I'm saying play the young guys, the young All-Stars, the young guys who have been named All-Stars. The Tyrese Maxey. Go ahead and let Tyrese Maxey. He's not going to give you a half-ass game. Go ahead and play Tyrese Maxey. And those other All-Stars who've been named to the All-Star, Scotty Barnes, Brandon Ingram, Jalen Johnson, play those guys. If Donovan Mitchell is not going to play, if Karl Anthony Towns is not going to give you 100%, if Pascal Siakam is not going to give you 100%, play the other guys. I mean, that has to do with the coaching of the All-Star game, but to play those guys, that's what I'm saying. Would you agree or disagree with that?
No, I disagree. It's an exhibition. It has turned into that since Vegas, and you're never going to get this super competitive game that you're looking for. That's the thing of the past.
So when you saw Kendrick Perkins take shots at LeBron for not playing again. I think KG actually just did it. Excuse me, not Kendrick Perkins. KG just actually said LeBron ruined the game when he did not go one-on-one against Kobe Bryant. I know you remember the moment. And he decided to pass the ball. Do you agree or disagree with that situation?
Disagree with it. Again, it's an all-star game, and KG is one of those hyper competitive dudes, but no one else on the court is really doing that.
So you disagree that LeBron not participating in the dunk contest is led to Zion Williamson not participating in the dunk contest?
Well, I definitely think that LeBron should have participated in one, at least one. Mm-hmm. And I definitely think that Zion Williams has no business in a dunk contest.
Wait, that's how he got popular. Well, he got popular from blowing out a shoe and then dunking before he went to Duke. Why wouldn't you expect him to be in the dunk contest?
Cameron, in 6 seasons, do you know how many games Zion Williamson has played?
Well, I don't know what the number is, but
I do.
I mean, Matt McClung.
It's 246.
Is that more? Is that 240?
I'll do the math for you. I'll do the math for you. That's 40 games a year. He does not need to be in the dunk contest.
That's 38 more than Matt McClung has played in, and he's won 4 dunk contests.
Wow. Do you hear yourself? How selfish are you? How selfish are you?
How selfish am I?
Somebody that can only stay on the court half of the time. You want them in a dunk contest?
I did not necessarily want.
They're going to hurt himself.
I'm not. He's going to hurt himself. I'm not railing for Zion to be in.
He misses every other game, but you want him to be in a dunk contest.
It's not that I want him to be in the dunk contest. Let's get this straight.
Okay, so then what are you saying?
He at some point in his 5-year career, he should have participated in dunk contests. Yes.
Why? He's never played even half of a season before. You want him in a dunk contest?
You say the dunk contest is gonna hurt him? He has not been injured every All-Star game.
Wow.
Or All-Star weekend in the last 5 years.
Look it up. I bet you at least 4 of those All-Star games he's been hurt. At least 4 of the 6.
That's a bad thing if that's actually accurate. I did not look it up though. The Cavaliers. Any faith in the Cavaliers doing anything this season in the postseason?
We'll see if they can get to the second round.
The Mavericks, are they going to trade Anthony Davis? Anthony Davis is he going to perform for the Mavericks and will we see an Anthony Davis, Kyrie Irving, and Cooper Flag lineup this season?
More likely than not, because being injured during the trade deadline and having a history of a lot of injuries kind of makes you somewhat untradeable. In my estimation, maybe someone will take the risk, or they have doctors that can look at the records and the charts and find something that's like lets them be okay with it. But you prefer when you're training for someone to be somewhat healthy, and he's not. So,
would you trade Anthony Davis for Giannis Antetokounmpo?
No,
you would not. I don't think Milwaukee would make that trade, but you would not call up Milwaukee for Giannis if you were the Dallas Mavericks.
Well, sure. If you're the Dallas Mavericks, you would call them and ask for that. But if you're the Milwaukee Bucks, you would be like, "Why? How did you get my number? Why are you calling me?"
Yeah, that's a good one. I agree with you there. I certainly agree with you there. The Rockets sideline, Jalen Green. Do you have any belief in the Rockets? As I mentioned, I had the Rockets winning the Western Conference this season. Who do you have winning the Western Conference?
So Jalen Green plays for Phoenix now. He doesn't play for the Rockets, but they did recently just lose Steven Adams, which I thought was kind of a big loss. So now they don't have Steven, for the season. So now they don't have Steven Adams or Fred VanVleet, so it makes them a little bit light.
Well, they need a point guard. That's why I suggested they consider Ja, but okay.
Yeah, and Ja, but Ja's not a legitimate point guard. He's just a shooting guard that's a little bit small and handles the ball all the time. So they need a real point guard that wouldn't really fit him. So yeah, they're probably out there looking for that, but can they right the ship? We'll see.
I mean, I like Reed. I just don't think Reed is a playoff point guard. I don't see him as a playoff point guard. But I like Reed as I like the 3-pointer. He'd be able to bring up the ball. KD still dribbles too much. They do. It would be nice to have Fred VanVleet, but obviously they won't have him. Timberwolves, the Jazz. Will the Timberwolves make any noise in the playoffs?
Well, they've been in the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years, so I think they're going back. I'm not 100% sure on that one. I would say they could still tweak their team a little bit before the deadline. Maybe they also need a point guard, maybe pick up a few things here or there. But again, that second round gets very, very, very tough. And last year, their second round opponent was the Golden State Warriors. Not so tough. So this year it will be, a little bit tougher, stiffer competition. Can they get past a Houston, a San Antonio, maybe even a Denver? That would be kind of hard to do. That'd be a big ask.
Who do you have coming out the Western Conference? Can Denver come out the Western Conference?
For sure.
Cleveland, let the people know where they can find you on your social media, big dude.
Cleveland, the author on Instagram, and Cleveland Wonder on TikTok. Something's wrong with my ex. Somebody hacked into my account and took it over and doing weird stuff with it. So I can't give you guys that one. So I would like to, but yeah.
How's the book coming along?
Books come along good. I have actually been writing a few different things. I have my Josh Allen personal relationship article coming out. That one's been pretty funny to write.
How he's hurt your relationship? You guys, you coming at Josh? Let the people know what's the article about. Where they can find. Where they can.
Oh yeah, well, sure. Well, it will be on. It will be on TikTok and also Instagram here in the next week or two. But no, it's about the personal relationship that we have developed, given the way he's performed in fantasy football, and then in the way that he's performed in the sports book when I bet against him against the Jacksonville Jaguars, and then when I bet for him against the Denver Broncos. So you can imagine how the
So will he like this article?
What's that?
Will he like this article?
He'll understand it. Will he like it? I don't know. He'll understand where I'm coming from.
Are you going to have him sobbing? Are you going to have him sobbing at home reading this article?
Not. I addressed that. I addressed that.
Like he was sobbing on the sidelines, or you?
I addressed that. I saw that and how I felt about it.
Okay.
And I also unveiled the 4 levels of fandom.
Oh, here we go.
In this article, which kind of gives a better perspective to things. So,
I mean, do you want to touch on and share the 4 levels of fandom with the fans here on the show, or is that for the book only?
The 4 levels of fandom is just a regular person seeing the athlete as just a regular person. Second level is Homerville. He's one of your guys because he plays for the hometown team. Where they're, for example, for me, it would be the Huskies or the Mariners or the Seahawks.
Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold. Your appreciation for Sam Darnold, in other words.
Sure. That would be a Homerville type of perspective to have on it. The third one is fantasy football, whether he helps you or hurts you. And then the fourth one is the sports book, whether he wins you money or loses you money. So there's 4 levels of fandom.
Okay. All right. Well, the fans will be eager to read this book. And where can they find this material? You say it's going to be out on TikTok here pretty soon?
Yes, this will be either TikTok or Instagram. And this was not a book. This one is just an article.
Okay.
The personal relationship that I now have with Josh Allen. And then, depending on how the Super Bowl goes, there may be a sequel with a Sam Darnold follow-up.
With Sam Darnold follow-up. Okay. All right. Before we let you go, I do please stick around for another 2 minutes with me. Fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man Cam. I got Cleavon joining me once again tonight. We're doing this show live, or I'm recording live here at the Great American Casino at 14040 Interurban Avenue South. That's Tukwila, Washington. Here they have great happy hour specials. It is a casino, so they do have free bonus play Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. through 8 p.m. On Friday and Saturdays, that's 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. They do have qualified winners, or qualified players can receive up to $1,000 of free play, and they have 2 winners every hour. So make your way down here to Great American Casino, 14040 Interurban Avenue South in Tukwila, Washington, and mention Cam, let them know that I sent you, and you get some drink specials. Cleavon, thanks for hanging with me. I do have a question. This weekend, now we talked about it. I know I text you about it. This weekend, big fight this weekend. You probably already forgot about it, but I'm here to remind you.
No. People have been poking me about it. You already know how I feel about it. Do I got to say it out loud?
I mean, the fans don't know how you feel about it.
Fans, FEMO. The end.
Yeah, this is going to be FEMO's end. Is what this is going to be.
I ain't got to say no more. TFMO open. Yeah.
Cleveland, he fighting Shakur Stevenson.
I don't care.
A kid that knows how to hit and doesn't get hit.
Okay, well,
he's not afraid of the pressure.
Okay. Well, I don't think Femo was afraid of the pressure either. Was he afraid when he took out Lomachenko?
Lomachenko was 5'1", sir.
Was he afraid? But was he afraid when he took him out?
Lomachenko was not a match for him. He was afraid when he took on a bully.
At any rate, fans, Femo ain't gonna be afraid of Tupac. Okay, and it ain't gonna matter. You're gonna knock it. I'm not gonna predict the knockout, but he is gonna win the fight.
I thought I was gonna hold you to the knockout.
He is gonna win the fight. He'll win the fight.
Does it go to distance or is it decision?
I'm not prognosticating that, but he is gonna win the fight.
Fans, I got Shakur Stevenson winning this fight. I don't think it's going to go the distance because Teofimo Lopez, after the second and third round, he will not be coming forward anymore, and there goes the fight. The fight is going to be made when Teofimo comes to him and he keeps getting connected on, and he's going to keep coming towards Shakur Stevenson. He's going to outpunch him, outpoint him, and win the fight probably 7-5, 8-4, 7-5 in that realm. So big fight weekend, Cleveland. Thanks for hanging with us. Let the people know once again where they can find you on social media.
Yes, Cleveland Author on Instagram and Cleveland Wonder on TikTok.
Thank you for your time, man. Appreciate you for coming on. Enjoy the fight this weekend, and we'll talk to you real soon, big guy.
Thanks, sir. Talk soon.
All right, fans, let's go back to This Week in History. This Week in History segment we have every week. January 23, 1863, early enforcement of the Emancipation Proclamation. Federal actions began shaping the first wave of the emancipation policy across the South. January 24th, 1971, Congressional Black Congress is formed, a historic milestone strengthening the Black political representation and legislative power. January 26th, 1831, World Anti-Slavery Convention opens. Global abolishment efforts gain momentum through international collaboration. And January 27th, 1890, William B. Purvis patents the fountain pen, a major contributor to modern writing tools by a prolific Black inventor. Fans, we touched on a little bit about the portal and the NIL. What do you guys think about the Canes' new quarterback, Darian Mensah, who was signed with Duke and decides a couple of days after his signing that, there's an opening in Miami. I'll go to Miami. What do you guys think about this? Should there be any regulations with this NIL and the transfer portal? Should players be allowed to leave one university a couple of days after signing for another university? This one particular Duke actually was suing the quarterback. It was like, nah, dude, you sign here. How you going? You can't just sign and quit. Although it would have been hard if they won, and now they have this quarterback that they sued to stay as a quarterback. That would have been kind of controversial. However, he won. Kudos to Duke for suing, but he did win, and he should be allowed to go elsewhere. I just question the motivation of players in these days. The portal says if you're not getting the playing time and the coach ain't treating you right, that you jump in the portal and leave. That's not how real life works, folks. If you don't get along with your boss, you can't just leave and just start job hopping. That looks bad on your resume. It doesn't do you any good. You want to stay somewhere, build up some reputation, build up some kudos, some points at somewhere, and try to get promoted. Job hopping isn't conducive for promotions. Or you get the NIL, you make some money, then you sign this contract. In this case with Duke, say you sign a contract January 13, then you find out, well, Carson Beck is leaving Miami. He's not going to be available to stay again, and that leaves an opening down there. Somebody calls you, are you interested in Miami? Sure, I am. And then you say, I'm going to leave this contract to go for another contract, and they haven't even paid you yet. I mean, come on, man. It's bad business. Life doesn't work like that. And I don't think this situation prepares a kid for life. Just my thoughts. What do you guys think? Let me know. The MLB offseason is there have been some movement. The Mariners, we can say the Mariners trade for Johnny Pereda, the Twins catcher, improving their catching depth as they continue to retool their roster. The Yankees cut ties with in clear space with 26-year-old outfielder, clearing roster space. And Angels give Trey Mancini another shot. Giants had more outfield defense when they signed San Francisco Bader. So we got some stuff happening in baseball. Obviously, we got to have pitchers and catchers reporting here in a couple weeks, and we'll have more information, obviously, as the season comes. But fans, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man, Cam, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in each and every week. The quote I want to leave you guys with tonight, another quote from Martin Luther King Jr. Let me get it right. An injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. That's Martin Luther King. So, fans, when you guys see some injustice that's happening, i.e. Minnesota, that threatens our justice that's happening in Florida, Virginia, Delaware, Philadelphia, Washington, Oregon, California. I mean, if it happens there, it can happen here. You guys got to speak up about that, man. You just can't be so accepting and can't think everything's cool just because the TV tells you so. Be able to think for yourself and have a mind for yourself. Everything ain't cool. Everything ain't so hunky-dory. But be able to speak to that for yourself. Fans, again, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to the Voice of the Fans podcast. This is your man, Cam. Appreciate having you. Love having you here. And as always, fan, thank you for making our voice your choice.